Alrighty, guys. So, welcome to our next week. So, in this week, we're going to be focusing on how to get new accounting clients without spending money, and really focusing on drumming up some appointments, getting people on your calendar, and really starting to use the sales process to start drumming up some business for yourself and for your tax and accounting firm. So, what we're going to focus on in this module is the fundamentals of why your calendar is so important, and how we're going to basically get people and prospects on your calendar so you can start closing deals and doing what you need to do. The next thing is going to be the 4 easy methods to drive appointments. We're going to dig into all these and figure out, kind of going into our next piece, how to choose which method is right for you, and really understanding which method makes sense for you and your business and your niche and all that good stuff. The fourth thing we're going to focus on is our lead generation timeline, understanding how long it's going to take for us to start really generating leads and hitting our goals. Then following that is how to know when to improve or quit a method, which is going to be a very, very key component in what we're focusing on, okay? So the first thing is the fundamentals of a calendar. So we're now at the part of the program where we're looking at how to reach out to prospects to start generating appointments. Because at the end of the day, I want you guys to understand this. The more conversations that you have, the more money that you make. It's a simple equation. And what our focus on in this week is really putting you guys in conversations with the right prospects day in and day out. And it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. But the more conversations that you have, the more money you make. You don't have to be the best salesperson. You really don't. But if you put yourself in enough conversations, deals drop in your lap, and that's when you're going to start building momentum and start, reaching the goals that you have set out for yourself. But before we dive into that, you want to make sure you have a clear understanding of the services offered and your niche. This is really important because you need to understand exactly how your service is offered, what you're offering, why it's important, what are the values that most customers look at and think that is of value to them. You got to understand that type of stuff. Then the next thing is understanding your niche. Where does your niche hang out? How do they talk? How do they act? What sets them off? What gets them riled up? What gets them going? So those two things are going to be extremely important before we can even start reaching out to prospects, because you got to understand exactly the service that you're offering, whether it's tax planning or something else. And you got to understand your niche, okay? Very, very important. And just to let you guys know, obviously we're focusing on tax planning, but this whole entire part of the program where we're drumming up appointments, if you're utilizing, selling tax returns or accounting services or CFO services, it doesn't matter. It's going to follow the same approach. You just need to know your services that are offered and the niche that you're trying to serve. If you know that, you can take this. You could do this in anything, and we're going to teach you how to do that, okay? And if you do not understand the service offering, who your niche is, the pain, the wants, the needs, the desire, this will be hard, because you got to understand how your customer thinks, what do they care about or what they don't care about. And if you're not too sure, as you start to go through this process, you're going to start to learn by just trial and error what they like, what they don't like, and all of that good stuff. So that's going to be something that you're going to kind of learn on the fly, but you really want to make sure you have a clear understanding of it right now, which would be awesome for you to have. Then this week, we're taking your core message to your market and starting to get appointments on your calendar. That is our focus. We need to start getting appointments on your calendar so you can start generating revenue for your tax business. Like I said, the more conversations you have, the more money you make. Never forget that. That is a simple equation when it comes to making money. More conversations equal more money. Okay? M&M. More conversations, more money. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to break down these methods to generate appointments. There's not a perfect method to use to generate an appointment. It's really picking which one you like and just going from there. Which one makes sense for you, right? Thinking about, what would be the best way to get in contact with your niche. So I mean, if for example, if you're trying to contact real estate investors, Instagram might not be the best place to contact your niche, right? And just being real. So you have to kind of understand who you're speaking to and use your common sense to say, okay, I think my niche is on this platform, and do some research. Okay. And we will cover each of these methods and how they work, and you'll decide which one you want to choose for yourself, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into each of the methods right now. So our first method is going to be method 1, which is going to be organic outreach, okay? So organic outreach means having a specific plan to reach out to prospects without any paid advertising or paid platforms to generate appointments, all right? So what organic outreach means is you're really going out and you're contacting your existing network. So the people that are around you, you have multiple people that you know who might own businesses or who are high net worth individuals that you just have in your common network that you know of. And this is a great place to start, because if you're not able to sell the people that are closest to you, it's going to be 10 times harder to sell people that have no clue who you are. And when we were starting our tax business, how we really got started was we started doing simple 1040 returns just in our local community and doing it locally, from our neighbors to our family to all that type of stuff. That's how we started generating business. Because at the end of the day, we're in a beautiful business, guys. We're in taxes. And you know what? The two most guaranteed things in life are death and taxes. So everybody needs it. So whether that's just doing simple 1040s or whether that's you doing tax planning services, depending on if they have a business or if they're a high net worth individual, that's up to your discretion. But just starting off with your organic network, you can easily start drumming up business for yourself. The next thing is connecting via Facebook groups. If you guys have a Facebook page, which I'm pretty sure we all do, and if you don't, you need to get a Facebook account. Facebook groups are a great way. The same way where back in the day where you would have Leads Club, and you have like different clubs at high school, right? Like just different clubs, like the robotics club or this or that. Think about that whole entire concept, and now it's online now, where people are literally hanging out in certain groups and talking about certain things. Like there's a group called the NASA group where all they talk about is spaceships and going to space and different things like that. There's a group on there for chiropractors. There's a group on there for dentists. I mean, you name it, right? And instead of going out to these different events in person that we would go out to and go to these different associations and different things like that, you can connect with these people via Facebook from the comfort of your own computer and have probably 10 times more effectiveness than you would going out to a Leads Club or to a association or a BNI or whatever the case may be. Okay, then the next thing is connecting with friends via Facebook and your Instagram followers, or your LinkedIn followers. I mean, if you do have people that are your friends on Facebook or Instagram, letting them know by a post or different things like that, or reaching out to them via the message or whatever the case may be, okay? So this is really most effective if you already have a big network, either in person or through a Facebook following or an active email list. So if you guys do have an active email list, sending out an email asking people to to hop on your calendar to speak about tax planning or different services or whatever, that's an easy way for you to start generating appointments for yourself if you have an email list, okay? So you want to definitely utilize that resource, okay? And it's least effective if you don't have a network or family or prospects to utilize, right? So I'm pretty sure we all have a network of people that we can speak to. If you guys are in this program, you guys are making a little bit of money, right? So we definitely have a network and we can definitely reach out. So organic is just reaching out to the people that we know around us that, who are in business or have something going on that we can easily speak to and reach out to. And we'll go into that method a little bit deeper later in the training. We have a full training and a process that you can go through to start drumming up business, okay? The next one is method 2, direct outreach. So direct outreach means you having a specific plan to reach out to prospects through utilizing personal emails, okay? And I love direct outreach. When we really started going out within our business and we started using organic and we started getting clients, the second way that we started to get business was to keep costs low was really what we were trying to do because we didn't have a lot of cash, right? So to keep costs low, what we did was direct outreach. And what that is basically you doing research on Google, searching for your prospect's email. Then once you do that, you craft an email that grabs your prospect's attention, and you email them asking them to basically set an appointment for you. So think about this. If you're in the market for real estate investors, or you're in the market for dentist, excuse me, for dentist practices, right? What direct outreach is in a nutshell is you go online or go on Google or go on Yelp and you search dentist practices in your local area. You find, the top 100 or 150, you go on their website, you find their email, and you send them a personalized email. Like, hey, Joe Schmo, I saw on your website you guys offer these services. Most people that are in the dentistry industry struggle with XYZ. I would love to have an appointment with you to speak to you about how we can make sure that you don't go through that or you do this. Do you have any time on your calendar to speak next week or speak this week? That's essentially what direct outreach is, and we do it at scale, and we're going to walk you through a process on how to do that. And this is a very easy and simple way to do it. You can easily send out 10 emails a day, but the reason why this works so effectively because it's personal, because you've done some research on this person, you've looked at their website, maybe you saw their Instagram page or their Facebook page, whatever. You took little two tidbits of what they do, and you send a personal email to them. And once you do that, the effectiveness of that email working and them wanting to get on your calendar is pretty high, okay? So this is most effective when you have around 30 minutes to an hour a day to do some research on your ideal client, okay? Just like what we're talking about. It's least effective when you're stretched for time and find it difficult to narrow down your ideal client. Google search can be daunting when you don't know what to put in the search bar, right? So if you're not sure what your niche is or who you're trying to reach out to or anything like that, then this is tough because you don't know what to research. If you're going after dentist practices, you know what to put in Google, right? If you're going after HVAC companies, if you're going after, computer repair shops, you know what to type into Google. But that's why we kind of talked about earlier, these outreach methods are tough if you have no clue who your niche is. And if you're not too sold on a niche, just pick one for the time being. Just say, I'm going to just do dentists. And once you just start going through the process and you start getting clients, you're like, okay, well, that's my niche. Just pick one. Don't overthink it and just keep it going, okay? So that's direct outreach. The next thing is going to be LinkedIn outreach, which we're going to have a really good training on, okay? Again, all these methods are extremely low cost or no cost at all to start getting you guys clients. So this is used when you're trying to locate your ideal prospects that are active on LinkedIn and using a targeted direct outreach email to entice your prospects to meet with you and book an appointment, okay? So LinkedIn outreach includes locating your prospects' LinkedIn profile. So your perfect prospect, again, it goes back to having a niche. If your niche is real estate investors, you're going on LinkedIn and you're searching real estate investors in your local area or wherever you're located, right? Sending them a connection request to your ideal prospects. It's just like adding a friend. Send a connection request. Obtaining your first degree, connecting to send direct outreach emails to. So all of your first degree connections now that you have, you're going to send them emails. Because once you add people on LinkedIn, you get all their contact information, their phone number, their email, all of that great information. It's like the modern day business card, right? It's like you can go to LinkedIn, and once you add these people, it's like they give you your business card. So just the same way you would be in, you would go to a networking event and you would speak to people, for 30, 45 minutes in the hopes of getting their contact information, in the hopes of setting up an appointment. It's the same thing, basically, but instead of spending all of that time, you're literally sitting on LinkedIn, going into the search bar, typing in, dentist or typing in doctor, and having hundreds of thousands of them pull up and sending them a friend request. Then once they add you, you literally get their business card with all their information. You take that email and we start sending them emails asking them to book an appointment with us. It's literally like you got your business card, but it took you only 20 minutes to do it. Okay? And this is where you can really start getting some major business, okay? So, and you start performing follow-ups to get your prospect to agree to meet with you, whether phone or in person or whatever you deem necessary, okay? So again, this is most effective when your ideal prospect utilizes the LinkedIn platform and you can easily locate them via search term. Like what industry are they in? Where are they located? the company size, what type of professional term do they go by, PhD, CPA, that type of stuff, real estate investor, different things like that. Again, it goes back to really understanding why establishing who your niche is so important. Sometimes you'll even want to pick a niche that's easy, like dentists, because it's so easily searchable. And that means that you could find these people and start reaching out to them. So when you're thinking about a niche, and if you're still confused, just be like, you know what? What's a highly searchable niche that I could easily find? Doctors or chiropractors or dentists or investor. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff will make it easier on you, and you'll start getting business pretty quickly, okay? The next thing is least effective when your ideal prospect doesn't utilize the LinkedIn platform. It cannot be easily searched for. So, I mean, if you're going after fashion brands, right? Those companies are on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. They're not really on, not LinkedIn, on Twitter. They're not really on LinkedIn. So it's not going to be as effective, okay? All right, so then method 4. So this is really good. So if you're a person that just doesn't like using online stuff, it's just not your deal. But I mean, if you're able to get on this program, you know enough about online where you can do what you need to do. It's not nothing serious. If you can open this program and work on it and go through the videos, you're well, able to do the first 3 methods. But if you do not want to do anything online, we do have another solution for you. And it's called mailers. So this is used when you're trying to reach highly targeted prospects through sending mail to get their attention, okay? So what this is just locating the physical address of your highly targeted prospects. So let's say if I'm going after a highly targeted real estate investor, I'm going after, Mark Cuban, okay? And I got his physical address to his office, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna craft an amazing letter that will blow them away, okay? To give us a call. I gotta craft an amazing letter, okay? And coming up with it, then I have to come up with a unique item that I'm gonna put in the package that will get their attention, okay? So maybe I put $100 bill, or maybe I put, a little mini shovel, or whatever the case may be, something that just gets their attention, then performing follow-up calls until they agree to meet with you. So this method is really good for the simple fact that if you're a person who just doesn't want to utilize the online stuff, you can send out mailers, okay? You can do it. It's going to cost you a little bit of money because you're going to utilize FedEx, but your cost is going to be pretty low. The second thing, if you're trying to go after a highly targeted prospect, somebody who has a following, who's big, who's a big-time CEO, who's somebody who's just, it's going to be tough obtaining them via LinkedIn. It's going to be tough trying to reach out to them via Facebook. It's tough. So the way that you can get their attention is you can get a FedEx package, put your letter within there, put like a cool little token or item within there, send it to them. You have the tracking. You're going to know when it's been delivered to the actual location. Then you're going to, do a follow-up call, send a follow-up email, and see if they got it. Once they got it, you're going to try to book the appointment, okay? And that's how you're going to get done. So this is most effective when when the prospects have physical addresses and you can easily find them and identify the owner. Very effective, very easy. You can do this. Least effective when you don't have a highly targeted list of ideal prospects. Just point blank. If you don't know who you're targeting or have a highly targeted list, then this just won't work for you, okay? So following that, our other methods that we are going to use are live events, trade shows, and our big beauty is Facebook advertising. So these other methods we're going to definitely utilize, but these methods require for you to have a little bit of capital to spend to be a part of these, or having a pre-built email list in place, right? So we're going to eventually graduate to these other methods, and this is where you start to explode your business. And if you're in a position right now where you have business, you're doing well for yourself, you have revenue, by all means, start doing the live events. Start doing the trade shows, right? Obviously, the COVID situation and different things like that, but, when you guys are listening to this, if that's over, then definitely start doing that. Then as well, Facebook advertising. Man, if you guys can start doing the Facebook advertising right now, you've already doing $30,000 a month. Facebook could explode your business to that $100,000, $200,000 a month point. So start utilizing that. These other methods, it's very low cost to do it. You can drum up business for yourself. Very easy and simple. But if you want to take it to the next level, live events, trade shows, and Facebook advertising, that's where you really, that's where you become a 7-figure tax firm. That's the next level, okay? So you want to be doing at least around $30,000 a month before you start moving to these other methods, okay? So you want to have some revenue in place. You want to be stabilized where you can go out to trade shows, spend $2,000 for a booth, and maybe you might not come back with any business. You never know, but when you're following our process, you will. But you need to be able where you can stomach a cost like that. Same thing for live events. You have to be able to get people to your live event. Do you have an email list? Do you have the resources, the capital to do that? If you do, perfect. That's awesome. Then let's go ahead and do that, because that's going to absolutely, you're going to close, 40 to 50% of the room if they're coming to your event. You could end up doing, $25,000, $30,000 from one event. And the last one is Facebook advertising. If you just want to be in the comfort of your own office, not have to go out and do events and different things like that, Facebook advertising, utilizing our system and our targeting system is going to be huge for you to really start drumming up your business, okay? But again, you have to have a defined niche, and you have to be extremely clear on your message to move forward with these other ones, because at trade shows, people are passing the booth quickly. You got to capture their attention. Live events, you got to have a really good event title. You got to be, have a good topic set up. You know your niche. You know what you're doing. Facebook advertising, your messaging has got to be on point, okay? So those are the things that you want to look at once you kind of get to that 30K level and you understand what your message is, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to dig into all of these methods individually and walk you through the process, so you guys will be in a place where we can start really putting these things to work and start doing what we need to do, okay? So we're almost there. So let's keep our head up and let's go into this next level and start doing what we need to do, okay? It's going to be a little bit of work, but anything that's great comes with work, right? Okie dokie. So let's do what we need to do.